All right, that's me. Let me go back to share my screen. So, guys, we are recording this so that we can go back and you can learn from this at any time. So, we're going to be talking about doing deals and attracting motivated sellers. So, this is going on the same vibe that we've been doing for all the virtual meetups, which is how do you still do business when you're stuck in your house, when you can't go meet sellers or when you can't get out and people don't want to see you in their house? How do you still do deals? So that is what we're talking about, and that's the theme that we're talking about here today. So I'm excited about that. We're going to record it so you can go back and listen. But I wanted to say that right now, if you are not marketing, if you're not out talking to sellers, if you're not in your business marketing, whatever that is, right now you are missing out, because this is the time. I heard a quote today, which I thought was great, was if you see a guy sitting in the shade, under a tree in the shade, relaxing, then you look at him, that same guy planted a seed many years ago. And that was a butchered quote, but basically now's the time to plant your seeds, put your marketing out there so that in a couple of years you could be relaxing under the shade tree, right? So we're going to talk a lot about that. We've been talking a lot about it. So I'm excited about getting Tim in here to go over some really cool not Facebook, but Google ads, the statistics and logistics around all that. So if you are shopping for a deal, if you are out there, you're a cash buyer, you're really hungry. I know I'm getting calls every day. Guys, I'm getting calls every day from flippers and people that want to buy some cash flow properties. So if you're a wholesaler or you're out there pretending to hunt and you're just looking online and not talking to sellers, you're missing out. So get out there. Let me know if you need any help. REI Live, we're here to help. We're here to educate you, get you in the right network, and we can even walk you through a deal. If you got a motivated seller and you don't know how to finish it, call me. We will get you to the finish line. There is somebody in this group that needs that deal. I'm telling you, because they're calling me every single day. Off that note, I will talk about, if you're not on our mailing lists, if you're not on our cash buyer list, if you don't get something from info at Columbia Cash Home Buyers or Andrew at lucasproperties.biz, then you're going to miss. We've got, if Bishop's on here, he can tell me, but we got about 5 or 6 properties that are going to come out today and tomorrow for flips. We also have a big package of 12 that's going to take a particular buyer, but we have it there available. So if you are not getting emails from us when we have deals, you need to let me know. Put it in the comments, email me so you can get those alerts. All right. So let's talk REI Live, if I can get to it. Okay. REI Live is our Columbia's best resource for networking and education in real estate investing space. Guys, if you are looking to learn how to invest in real estate, if you're looking to network with people that are investing in real estate, then this is the group you want to be in, because it's free to be here, it's free to join, and there's some big time heavy hitters in this group that are doing deals every single day. So there's just tons of opportunity when you come and you network and get in this group. And we're bringing great speakers like Tim, who are going to give you cool insights and let you know how to do this business well and efficiently. So REI Live, join the Facebook group, REI Live Columbia ! Or something like that. Join the Facebook group. Freedom Finders that's our one-on-one coaching. That's our small group coaching platform. If you are looking to get kind of really dive in and you need somebody to walk with you and you think that's a good fit for you, we do have an application for that, but that's very limited space. Lucas Properties, if you are trying to sell a deal, we do buy properties. We do flip houses, and we buy and holds rental properties. So that's who you want to send those to. And Columbia Cash Home Buyers, that's our marketing arm to our motivated sellers. So guys, in everything we do, we seek to honor God, serve others, and be good stewards of our resources. That includes REI Live and all of our business. All right. So I do want to, if anyone is new, if you haven't been here before, haven't joined us in person, or if you haven't joined us virtually, please let me know. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. I'm going to go back and open up the chat box. Let me know that you're new. Raise your hand, let us know, and we will reach out to you and make sure that some of our experienced folks like Freddie's, who's in there commenting. Oh, good point, Freddie's. Who was the winner? No, the iPad's not till July, Freddie's. Don't get me messed up. Yeah, so reach out if this is your first time being here, and we will make sure that you get connected. I know this is odd being virtual. We'll get you connected with the right person that can help you in your business. All right. So while you're here, we want to make sure that you have an agenda, that you know why you're in this building, in this meeting, in this virtual meeting. And when we get back together, why are you in REI Live? Why are you here with this group? And find out what that is. You need to know what that is so that while you're here, you can succeed. You can get resources, gain knowledge, and move yourself forward. And we give examples here, you know, sell a contract as a wholesaler or buy a flip, whatever it is that you want to do, make that be known, make sure you know and let us know so we can help you. If you just come in just to meet people, that's great and all, but it's not going to help your business. All right. Meet people with a purpose. Okay. And then what to expect from us. Again, a lot of you that have been here before, seen this before, you know that we are education driven. You know that we come and teach really great, awesome real estate investing secrets and tips to help you succeed in your business and actually help me grow too. I love when we get new speakers. But we'll train you in all different parts of real estate investing. Right now it is Google Ads. And who knew that this would be so important right now, right? So we do rely on experts, but we bring from all walks of life, different areas of the industry. All right, these are our upcoming events. So take a snapshot of that, put it in your calendar. Again, we hope to be live by August. We shall see. So I'm really excited when we can get together and we can give high fives and fist bumps, but I don't know. I'm not betting. I wouldn't bet on August, but I hope. I do want to make sure we mention our sponsors, because without these folks, this wouldn't be possible. It does take time and money to put this together. And guys, with these sponsors and with all the sponsors on the next page, they are either working in our business or our partners' businesses, and they are willing to help you with your business. So we wanted to make sure that every one of these sponsors knows that what REI Live is about and who REI Live members are, and make sure that they can help you. So they offer either a discount or a free service or a gift card or something like that. So use them. If you have any questions about them, let me know. And every one of these is, like I said, partners and friends of ours. A few of these here, the prop stream, you guys have probably heard about them and all the wonderful things that you can get from there. Every one of these on this page, we have a REI Live discount for. So just let me know if you are going to get one of these services and use it in your business. I'll give you the discount code. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just they give a discount. So might as well use it. All right. So with that being said, I think that gives us a good intro, and I hope that you guys are ready. I hope you brought pen and paper. This is an opportunity to really learn from an industry expert. I'm not going to say who Tim's clients are, but I can tell you that Tim's clients are some of the leading wholesalers in the industry, in the nation. He has got some great backgrounds, got a lot of data. He's been collecting a lot of data from all of his partners and clients. So he's able to share some of those with us. So Tim, I hope I'm not building you up too much, but I am trying to at least lay the foundation of the fact that you are an expert in this, and you are going to help us with some of this unknown world of ads, online ads, Google ads, whatever it is. So I'm going to shoot it over to you. I'm going to make you an administrator now. I should have done that. All right. You are a co-host. So now you should be able to share your
Sweet.
screen.
Thank you so much. That was a very flattering introduction there. So I appreciate it. Yeah, so we're just going to dive right in. I'll just share my screen. We're going to go over pay-per-click today and really encourage any questions you have. At the end, bring your hardest questions, challenge me. The goal should be to try to ask a question I don't know the answer to. So please, I'm going to kind of go over just broad how everything works. But if you already know all this stuff and you have harder questions, feel free to throw them at me. Okay, so I got a little presentation here for you. So we're going to talk about, like Andrew said, finding motivated sellers with PPC. And to expand on, who I am and why you should listen to what I have to say here today. I'm a wholesaler, so I'm in the same business as a lot of you. My market is in Delaware. You can check out my website there. Still doing wholesaling today. And all of my deals currently come from online marketing. So the majority of them come from pay-per-click. I do a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of SEO, but basically my business, all my deals, I do about 20 a year on average, all come from pay-per-click. So I saw a gap in the market. I started basically a PPC agency. You can see here, I run it for Tom Kroll. I think that's who Andrew was talking about. So I run it for Tom. If you guys have heard of him, his PPC, a lot of his tribe, I run it for Andrew. And basically we only work with other investors and wholesalers. That's all we do, very real estate specific, just do PPC all across the country, dozens of clients. So I'm excited to talk to you guys today all about it. So what is PPC exactly? If you guys don't know, it stands for pay-per-click marketing. Okay, pay-per-click marketing, which just means that you're paying Google. Okay, you can see here the screenshot on the left, right? You go and type in like "we buy houses." That's something a motivated seller would type in. And the top 4 results are ads. Okay, and those are what you're paying for. So if a seller clicks on that ad, you get charged from Google. That's why it's called pay per click. You only get charged when someone clicks on your ad. Okay, so the name of the game is to get your ad to show up at the top here. You're bidding against other competitors. There's a lot of different algorithms that go into that. We're going to kind of go over a high level of that, but basically that's how you find motivated sellers. So I just want to talk about the power of pay-per-click here. So this is great timing. I just closed a deal this past Friday for a little over $5,000, 415 Martin Drive. That's a picture of the home there in Newcastle. And it came from PPC, as most of my other deals do. But the crazy thing is, guys, I live in San Diego, California. Okay, I live in San Diego. My entire business runs in Delaware. But with this deal, I had extremely a pathetic amount of time put into this deal for it to close. And it's great timing. I know REI Live is talking a lot about doing virtual wholesaling, and there's a lot that goes into it. But I'm going to go over really quick exactly how much time I invested into this deal. So talking about marketing, okay, when you do pay-per-click, right, versus other marketing streams like cold calling or direct mail, you don't have to do very much. So this person, basically they visited my website, they saw my pay-per-click ad, they went to my website, they filled out the form, and then my lead manager, I didn't even do it myself, my lead manager called them up, okay, qualified them on the phone, 10 minutes, scheduled an appointment. In this case, it was a rental property, it was tenant occupied, so I have a few trusted buyers. I know there's a lot of different like acquisition processes, but I just called my trusted buyer. I knew he was interested. I gave him the rundown. He looked at the property, gave me his price. Then I called the seller, negotiated it, got the contract via DocuSign, sent it over to the attorney, and basically had a couple emails with the attorney overall. So if you look at the total time invested, all I really had to do to close on this deal was I had to speak with the seller once on the phone to negotiate the price, and I had to do a couple back and forth emails with the attorney and then send them my wire transfer information. So probably less than an hour in total involved in this entire deal. And again, a lot of that is not like PPC related. It's just kind of virtual wholesaling related. There's a lot of aspects to it, right? But PPC is a component of that, and it just further strengthens your business if you're looking to have it become passive and to serve you and to do deals from home. I'm doing deals literally across the entire country. So if I can do it, There's nothing special about me. You can do it too. So PPC is just one avenue where you can make that happen. So here's how PPC looks in the back end dashboard. I know this is probably like super overwhelming and you don't have to understand how it works, but I'm just going to give you, if this is something that you want to dive in and learn, you can. And here's like just a quick of the main components of it. So we have the ad groups here highlighted in red, and basically the way you structure your account is based on ad groups. So you have like one campaign and then an ad group, and what an ad group is basically is you're grouping similar keywords together. And I'll show you, I'm actually going to go through my account, but I'm just going to go over like what you're looking at first. So an ad group, you're grouping together different keywords with ad copy, right? So just like kind of marketing 101, if someone types in the keyword "we buy houses," you want your ad to say "we buy houses." If someone types in "cash for my house," you want your ad to say, "Hey, do you want cash for your home?" So it's just a way to group your ad copy so that you can have your campaign perform the best you can. You can adjust bids on it, and there's a bunch of different data. There's an overwhelming amount of data. I can't even use all the data. There's too much data on here. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of my account here. This is my actual live account. So I've been running this account for about 5 years or so. 5 years or so. I've spent about $60,000 in total in my own ads account over a few years. And I've netted, probably 4 times my money, so a couple $100,000 over those years, right? Which is, not a crazy amount considering I know Andrew does more deals and he probably does more than that in a single year. Direct mail is awesome as well. But for me, this has become pretty passive at this point. And it's just, I've got 800 leads in, right? This is proof that it works and it comes in. So basically you have a campaign and you have different ad groups, like I was saying here before. And when you click on an ad group, basically there are a bunch of different keywords here, and we're not going to go over, there's kind of different formatting, but basically you group them by the root of the keywords. So there's like "we buy houses." Obviously I put the word Delaware in there for my market. Okay. You can track all of the clicks, who's clicking on your ad, and then you show them basically ads, right? Just like I showed you. When someone goes to Google, I know you've seen ads like these before. This is how they pop up there. So we have "we buy houses in Delaware," etc. So if you go to something like "cash house buyers," right? Here's "cash house buyers." Here's our ad. And then again, the keywords "cash home buyers." So there's a ton of different ads. I'm not going to go over into it. I'm happy to answer your questions, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a feel for what PPC looks like. And obviously there is kind of a learning curve, and I'll talk about it, how to deal with that and not be kind of overwhelmed, right? Not everyone does this for a reason, but it can be very powerful if you want to get into it. So let me go back to my presentation again, if I can figure it out here. Zoom. Okay, well, here we go. Okay, so talking about PPC versus like direct mail here. Direct mail is obviously most people's bread and butter. So I think it's a good to compare it to it. So with PPC, you usually get the highest quality leads. And I know Andrew can attest to this in his own business that we run for him here with that pay-per-click, is that, let's say on average, like with direct mail, at least in my business and a lot of people I've talked to, they average 30 to 50 leads per deal, depending on your list, but usually 30 to 50 leads per deal. And with pay-per-click, it's usually like 10. It can be even less than that. Sometimes it's 15, 5 to 10, 15. The leads are super high quality. And think about it, because people are searching for you, right? You're not cold calling them out of the blue. You're not mailing them a random postcard. They're literally searching for you to do business with. That's why they're super motivated. So it's very important that you call them as soon as possible. And again, it is kind of a high learning curve to get started, and you get a bunch of data here. So I'm not going to go over all of these, but the most important ones is, again, related to virtual wholesaling, right? I spend extremely little, and now I'm my lead manager, but we spend very little time talking to tire kickers. There's no one leaving angry voicemails. Most of the people that call us have some sort of motivation. Most of them are almost appointment worthy. Okay, so it cuts down on your overhead as well. I don't know if, a lot of people here are kind of a one-man show or they have a team, but it definitely reduces your lead management time because most of them are pretty high quality. okay, in terms of like what you have to do to manage an account. We go in weekly, you can go in bi-weekly, you can spend 10, 15 minutes, really not a crazy amount of time optimizing your account at a basic level. You can get the job done versus with direct mail. I mean, you have to do a lot of scrubbing, lists, and again, there are vendors ways to make it easier, but there is a good amount of more work in direct mail managing that versus PPC. So basically, to sum it up here, what can you do next? Knowing this kind of basic information here, there are really two main options that you can do if you want to test this out and get started. The first one is you can obviously run your own PPC campaign. I would recommend one. Just go to Google and type in start an ad campaign. Start an ad campaign. Google's support thing will come up. It's like pretty basic. Just follow the instructions. Okay, you can start with $500 a month. Okay, minimum. I wouldn't recommend starting with less than $500 a month because you're not really going to get enough data to make it worth it. You might as well put your time probably to leverage like a VA for cold calling or driving for dollars or something. So at least $500 a month. Make sure you have a great website. All of our clients, Andrew included, they all use carrot.com. We're big fans of them. They convert very highly. If you don't have a good website, don't do pay-per-click. When I first started, I spent about $5,000 and I got nothing out of it because my website sucked. I had a stupid GoDaddy website. It was terrible. So make sure you have a good website in place and you want to study before you spend the money. So there are Google Ads books out there. They're not super exciting to read, but you really need to understand exactly how an account should be structured, how to bid on keywords. It's a bidding system, different match types, how to optimize, how to write ad copy. All these things are super important. But if you want to dive in and learn it, it's a good use of your time. And I would recommend starting with these top 3 keywords. It's a very minimal amount to manage. Okay, the majority of your traffic and most of our clients' traffic come from these 3 keywords: we buy houses, sell my house fast, and cash for homes. Okay, that's just what people are searching. They see bandit signs, they see the We Buy Ugly Houses logo, so that's what people know. And if you don't want to do that, you can always hire an agency like ourselves or others. I mean, the reason we exist is just because there's such a high learning curve to get started. Most people don't want to learn it. So again, you'll get a professional service to help you out. Not for everyone. The fees can range $500 up to $2,000 a month. So it's not cheap if you want to hire someone else to do it, but it is an option if you are, have a serious investing business there. And finally, the third option is I kind of have at the bottom. You can do a mix of both. So if you go here to, carrot.com is one example. This is just an example. They have kind of a quick start where you can pay them a one-time fee, and they will basically launch a campaign for you. They'll set it up for you, give you like a very quick overview of how it works, and then you're on your own running it. So it's kind of a blended. You're paying for a little bit of help, but you can run it yourself. So there's a few different options out there. This is just one example. And basically, that's it. I know this is a high-level overview, and I'm sure you guys have tons of questions if you wanted to know more about it, but I hope that helps you kind of understand how PPC works with all your options you have for marketing, and for me, how powerful it really can be for your business, doing it virtually and getting that free time so you can go live your life, sip margaritas on the beach, and whatever Andrew does down there in South Carolina. So thank you.
I can tell you I'm not sipping margaritas on the beach. I'm working my tail off, but I will take a margarita every once in a while on the beach. But I thank you so much, Tim. That was awesome. I'm looking for trying to pull the chat bar back up. I lost it. So yeah, guys, if you have questions, type them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and talk. But I do want to kind of ask you just a couple of questions that came to mind. I know some people have the same questions because they ask me all the time. The $500 budget, how does that work? So like if I say, Google, here's I want to spend up to $500 this month. Am I going to lose all that money in one day if somebody goes and clicks on my button 100 times? Like how does that get distributed? How does that last?
Good question. Yeah. So the way Google sets it up, there's actually a daily budget. So you have to do everything daily. So if you want to do a $500 a month bid, you divide that by 30, and that's what, like $13. So basically you would tell Google to set your budget at $13 a day, and they have a rule not to go over twice your budget. So they can spend up to $26 per day. It'll always balance out. So no matter what, over the course of a month, you're not going to go over that $500. But just because it's inbound marketing, and there is natural variation, right? We're waiting for people to reach out to us. So it's going to be, there's some randomness to it. It's going to fluctuate. You're not going to spend exactly $13 a day. Some days you might spend $5. Some days you might spend, $25. It'll average out to $500 a month. But that's how you cap it, by doing a daily budget, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. And so when we Google things like we buy houses, and it pops up those first ads, is there a way to be first or number? Like, how did the fourth ad become the first ad? How does that work?
How do you win? Yeah, that's a great question. So Google has like an algorithm that they use. They call it a quality score. Okay, and it's basically a formula that goes with two things. It's one, how much you want to pay Google, obviously, right? They want to make the most amount of money. So it's how much you pay Google, you're willing to bid. I kind of briefly talked about bidding. You see all those numbers in the ad account. So basically, if we have like a we buy houses keyword, we say, okay, Google, we know that someone who's searching the keyword we buy houses is probably super motivated, right? We get a lot of leads from that keyword. That's where the deals are. So you have to kind of know your numbers, but let's say I'm willing to bid $30 for someone who types that in to get to my website. So you say, hey, Google, because this keyword is so important to me, I'm willing to spend $30 for it. Okay, so Google takes that amount you're willing to bid, and they multiply it by what they call a quality score, or like an ad rank. And it basically, they don't reveal exactly how it works, but your ad copy needs to match what the seller is searching. Because Google's service, right? No one would use Google if when you type something in, none of the results match anything that you wanted. So it's in their best interest to serve the customer by providing relevant results. So basically, what's the quality of your ad? So that's why it's great to, if you have the keywords we buy houses, that you want your ad to say we buy houses, because you're trying to make it as relevant as possible. So Google basically combines those different factors, and then you're bidding against other people in your market. So let's say I'm bidding against Andrew, and let's say we have the same exact ad copy with the same quality. Google thinks we're equally as relevant. I'm willing to bid $30, and Andrew's willing to bid $32. He's going to end up on the very top spot, and I'll end up on the second spot. So it's kind of like a sheriff sale in a way, where you're like auction based. It's an auction system, and it really comes down to what other people are bidding in your market. And that's why every market is different. And people ask me, oh, like, how much do leads cost? And I can never give a good answer, because it's an auction-based market. Google Ads is a market, and every market is different. So in Columbia, South Carolina is going to be cheaper than in San Francisco, but Delaware is probably going to be cheaper than Columbia. So that's just because like in San Francisco, people can make 50 or 100 grand per deal. They're willing to pay more to get that lead in, right? So you really have to test it out and find out for yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome. And guys, I know that this might be gibberish to some of us, and that's why businesses and companies like Tim's exist, because let's face it, there's a whole wide world out there in the Google ad space that you could get lost in it. And I do want to say one thing before we go to our next question, is that don't bog yourself down trying to learn all the minutia and all the little tiny things that work in Google Ads. And don't sit there reading 6 books and trying to figure out how to be the best Google AdWord copywriter or whatever. Just don't do that, because that's not going to make you money. What you have to do is pick a lane, pick a marketing avenue and go with that. Figure out how you're going to do that quickly and efficiently, but take action, go put it to work. The quicker you get Google Ads out there, the sooner you'll figure out what works in your market with your copy. Instead of trying to make your copy fit the whole world, put it out there and see what the world says about it. Okay. So there's a lot here, so I don't want people to get bogged down in it. That's the worst thing, the analysis paralysis. Don't do that. If you need some help getting, jumping off the ledge, let us know. We'll push you. So just get out there and do something with it. So I did have another question. Somebody texted me about, or someone had asked me the other day about the Google Ads, gosh, what was it now? When you do how do you find your keywords? Like what is, if I'm going to start my keywords, and we all know we buy houses, but like, how do we figure that out? How does Google tell us what people are searching for, or is that just a secret?
That is a great question, and there is no easy answer for that. And that's again like why it is beneficial to like hire an agency, especially someone who's like in the real estate industry, because me being a wholesaler, like I know what keywords bring in motivated sellers. There's no like really good resource where you can say, hey, Google, what are the keywords that motivated house sellers are searching? What we do is just test, right? You just test it with different campaigns, and that's the benefit of what we do. We have a lot of data. And then the ones that have conversions, we talk to investors and say, okay, just because you got a lead in, is it a tire kicker? Is it someone who wants to use a realtor? I mean, even the data in the Google Ads account sometimes isn't always reliable. You really have to like see what the actual lead is. So there's really not a great way to do it. A good rule of thumb, like I know it's simple, but the we buy houses, sell my house fast, and the cash for houses, like across all our accounts, no matter what we test, those ones, maybe home buyers as well could be a fourth one. Those ones are just by far what people are searching at this time.
Awesome. That's good stuff. Hey, I don't see any other questions right now. So if you guys have a question, hurry up and get it in, because we're going to cut Tim off in about 2 minutes. Let him go. He's still working over there in San Diego, right? What is it? 3 hours? So you
3:30. Oh, 3:30. Yep.
Almost happy hour. So let's let him get to his happy hour. So guys, if you have any questions, let me know real quick. But I do want to just thank you again, Tim, for being there and helping us. And one thing that if you can kind of shed light on is Google ranks your website based on the quality and content and everything like that. But the Google Ads gets you to the tip top. So that's what we're talking about here, guys, is having a decent website, a good website, but then basically leapfrogging everybody and getting up front and being right in front of people's face. And I think you mentioned it earlier, is the Carrot.com, Carrot websites. They're a sponsor of ours because we use them, and they provide a discount for REI Live members. I'll put the link to that in this recording when we put it up. But if you're looking to get started on something simple and easy, Carrot will do that for you. But is there any other tip, Tim, that you could give somebody that's just getting started and thinking of going down the online marketing, whether they're in the market or they're like out of their market and trying to do a long distance market? What would be that first tip you would suggest?
That is a great question. So honestly, like Carrot.com, the cost can range from $50 to $200 a month. So it's not super cheap, but I think that's the best investment you can make if you're dedicated and committed to doing the online space. I would get a Carrot account. It's worth the investment. And this is how I got started too. They have tons of training, free training that you can learn all about PPC, SEO, just like ranking without spending money as well. So I would go there, learn all the resources they have, and just see what you want to do, because online marketing is a super broad term, right? There's Facebook, there's SEO, there's pay-per-click. And I'm hesitant to say like, dive right into PPC if you're brand new, because a lot of people get burned right away, right? So there's definitely like a disclaimer there that you should have an understanding of it. But if you are serious about it, you can spend maybe 2 hours ahead of time. You don't need to do analysis paralysis. You can go look at Carrot's resources. You can skim through an AdWords book. You can launch a campaign in 30 minutes or less. You can put a little bit of budget into those top 3 keywords, and it shouldn't take you more than an hour or two to get started. I'm not saying you have to go become an expert and read an encyclopedia before you get started. So test it out. The only way you get better, just like me, is by learning, moving forward with it. So get a Carrot account and spend an hour or two setting up your AdWords account. That's the short answer of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this wasn't an ad for Carrot, but I'm sure they
Yeah.
appreciate it. But yeah, guys. So if that's the route you're going, you do not need a website to wholesale houses. I started with
Definitely not.
your leads coming from our website, and you don't need that. You can do text message and um, the postcards, of course, that we do. You can cold call. None of that needs a website. But if you go that route, and this is part of why we want to give you a big, broad picture of options, so you know that you pick what matches your personality, matches the way you like to work. If you want to work from long distance, you can do it with a website and without a website. But if you go with a website and you want to go with Google Ads, this is your starting point. This is your launching point. So rewatch this, reach out to Tim if you have questions. Carrot, I'll put the link to that. And now, Tim, I'll put your email in the notes as well, if that's okay.
Yeah. There's also our website, wholesalingppc.com. Alex can send you the link to Andrew/freedom, and you can sign up for like a newsletter. We don't sell anything. We just give away like content like this, like PPC for investor stuff. So if you're interested in that, learn more about it over time. Yeah, you can join.
Absolutely. Okay. So we'll add that into the notes. So thanks again, Tim. I'm going to let you run, and I know you're going to go get that margarita, but
Right.
REI Live, guys, I do want to leave this open. So if you want to talk, we can open up the lines. If you're on the Zoom call, you can chat. The Facebook watchers, you can comment. We could talk deals. I've got a couple of deals, and what I want to talk about is Airbnb. We're going to have a Thursday Airbnb case study on site. So Tim, you can hang up and you won't offend me. Do you want to say anything else before you go?
I appreciate you having me on, Andrew. Thanks, everybody. And yeah, just hit me up if you have any questions. Whether about PPC, you can Facebook message me, even if it's about wholesaling in general. I'm happy to chat about it. I do everything virtually. So hit me up. Don't be a stranger. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks. See ya.
All right, guys.
Bye.
So we are going to talk on Thursday live. We're going to be there. Probably, 20 people or less because we got to social distance a little bit. Bring a mask if you want to. We will be out on Lake Murray at a huge Airbnb property, and we're going to talk in detail what it looks like to run an Airbnb, what it looks like for the numbers. How do you rent it out? How do you get it cleaned? And I'm excited to tell you that, guys, because I was in a hospitality meeting this morning where we learned that hotels, as you all know, hotels dropped significantly. They went from 70% occupied to like 30% occupied nationwide in the last month in May. But Airbnb properties were at 50%, 55% last year in May and 55% this year in May. So there's something there with Airbnb that is different. People don't see it the same as hotels. They're comfortable going to them because they have their kitchens, they have their space. I know there was some fear going into the coronavirus that Airbnbs might fold. And in this market, they have done fairly well. So Thursday, we're going to be out there at 1:00 and we'll send out the address and all that. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. The other thing, and I would love some comments and feedback on this. Does anybody in our group or anybody listening want to own a boarding house? Do you want to rent a house by the bedroom, by the week? Raise your hand. Somebody tell me. If I told you that you could pay, let me see, what are the numbers? If you could pay $35,000 and get $1,500 to $2,000 a month in rent, is that a good deal? Who would do that? I don't see anybody raising their hand. Yeah. So we're going to talk more about that because it's kind of like an Airbnb. It's hands-on. It's a little bit more hands-on than renting by the month, but the returns are crazy. So yeah, I'm interested to see people's opinion on that. If you're not here and you're watching the replay, put the comment in there. What do you think about renting by the week, by the room? If you could make 3 and 4 times as much as you might do regular. We'll probably double to 3 times what you might do as a regular monthly rental. So guys, Freddie's raised his hand. He wants to do it. Freddie's, I got a deal for you then. So I'm excited about that. We're going to talk more about that, what that looks like, and how you can. There's so many ways that you can make a living, make your career, or make your retirement or your family's wealth through real estate investing. So what did Chad's in. Chad, I got a deal for you too. We're going to talk more about that. So these Airbnbs, these weekly rentals, these different creative ways, buying houses with seller financing, it's opening up. This coronavirus has kind of opened up some new things for people, for sellers, and they're willing to get creative. So I'm excited about talking more about that. Thursday at 1, mark your calendar. We'll be on Lake Murray. It's a pretty cool spot to talk Airbnb. So I'm excited about that. We'll send you the address and all the info. And if other than that, if you guys don't have anything left for me, I see you, Chastity, you're in there too. If you don't have anything, we are going to call it a night. I love you guys. REI Live, if you are looking to get started or you need help getting to the next step, reach out to me, reilivecolumbia.com. You can go to our Facebook group, reach out. We have our Freedom Finders private and small group coaching that can get you going. And REI Live has tons of resources as well. So guys, love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great night. Later.